So, friends, we are going to focus on the topic abnormal uterine action. Uh, I think you all know the normal action of the uterus during the labor. That is, the normal action of the uterus. It is characterized by the contraction of the uterus associated with dilatation of the cervix, which will result in the expulsion of the fetus. The uterine contraction generally result in the dilatation and effacement of the cervix in normal labor. So, any abnormality in the uterine contraction which will result in abnormal uterine action. Okay, next we can move on to the etiological factors. The etiology of the abnormal uterine action is not fully understood. However, there are often some associated condition with this abnormal uterine action. We can move on to that. First one is prevalent in first birth, that is the history of previous abnormal uterine action during delivery. Then second one is prolonged pregnancy. Then third one is over distension of the uterus. This over distension is maybe due to the fibroids or twin pregnancy, like that. Then emotional factor, the mother may be mother will with anxiety, stress. Then next one, constitutional factors, that is obesity. Then next one, contracted pelvis, the mother with contracted pelvis, or the baby is with malpresented baby. Then use of sedatives, analgesics, oxytocins, all will maybe contributor for this. Then induction of labor, ARM, instrumental delivery. These all factors, or these all may be the contributing or associated factors for abnormal uterine action. Next, we can move on to the types. Based on the polarity and the tonicity of the uterus, it is divided. Firstly, we can classify under the polarity. Under polarity, it is classified as normal polarity and abnormal polarity. Then we can move on to the normal polarity. In case of normal polarity, there will be a normal uterine contraction. That is, the upper segment, when the upper segment contract, the lower segment of the uterus will relax. Then move on to the abnormal polarity. There will be incoordinate uterine action. That is, the uterine contractions will be not in a coordinate way, just opposite to normal polarity. Then we can move on to the sub-classification of the normal polarity. It is subdivided into hypertonic dysfunction and hypotonic dysfunction. Firstly, we can move on to hypertonic dysfunction. Hypertonic dysfunction means excessive contraction of the uterus will be there. Then again, we can classify it as precipitated labor and tonic uterine contraction and retraction. If obstruction absent along with the excessive contraction, it is called as precipitated labor. Then if obstruction present along with the excessive contraction of the uterus, it is called as tonic uterine contraction and retraction. Next, we can move on to the abnormal polarity. I have already said that there will be an incoordinate uterine contraction. Then it is subdivided as spastic lower segment, which is common, and generalized tonic contraction, colicky uterus, asymmetric uterine contraction, constriction ring, cervical dystocia. These are the classification under abnormal polarity. I will explain later. Then another classification under tonicity, that is over efficient uterus and inefficient uterus. Under over efficient uterus, it is classified as precipitated labor and tonic uterine contraction and retraction. in that the uterus have hypertonicity. There will be excessive contraction. But then another classification is inefficient uterine action or inefficient uterine contraction. In that it is classified as hypotonic dysfunction or uterine inertia, spastic lower segment, generalized tonic contraction, Kolke uterus, asymmetric uterine contraction, constriction ring, cervical dystocia. In this case, the tonicity, otherwise the contraction of the uterus will be decreased, or it will be in less in number. I think you all understood the classification of abnormal uterine contraction.